Hello everyone and welcome to Knit Chocolate Pearls. Today's video will be a review of Northampton Valley Yarns. Hi, hello and welcome to the video. Northampton Valley Yarns is 100% wool, 226 metres or 247 yards per 100 gram ball of a worsted weight yarn. It retails for £8.99 but it's often on sale. I believe I bought it on sale for about £6 a ball. Personally, it is good quality yarn, but that's perhaps slightly pricier than what I would have preferred to pay for it. Now, the colour palette leans towards the cooler end. If you have warm undertones or you prefer warmer colours, then this isn't going to be the type for you. I know Valley Yarns have a variety of different like sub-brands within them. You might prefer something from one of them. Now, the colour match between these particular colours, it's medium, but I don't recommend it for something like a temperature scarf. I'll show you in a minute as to why, but let's get into the colours first. What I like most about this yarn, and the green is my favourite, is that it has a lot of dimension. If you look closely, you can see that there's yellow threaded through the green. It's lovely, it's like a golden yellow, lovely ochre colour. It really gives it depth and dimension. As I'm turning this around, you can see the bluish tones in the green as well. The yellow, it's called gold, but it's more of a mustard, and what else I like about this is it shows up quite accurately on camera. This is the colour that it is in person. You can see those cooler tones again. As with the red, it's like a pinky type of tone. There are quite a lot of colours in this palette, in this selection, however they are all cooler tones. Many of them are neutral and many of them are sort of greyish, bluish or pinkish. If you like that, then this is very good for you. Now I'll quickly show you some of my other projects. I made this the other day, and yes, I will post a tutorial for it soon. It's a crocheted hat. I actually love this hat. The purple, you can really see the pinkish tones in it that give it a lot of depth. That's what I really appreciate about yarns, is when companies put a lot of effort into ensuring it has depth, it has texture, it has more colour and pigment in it. These are very saturated colours. If you love deep, cool tones, this is going to be for you. Now, here is my temperature scarf. If you want to see the full reveal, you'll need to go onto my channel, and don't forget to put the subtitles on. My temperature scarf from 2024. A funny little thing about this yarn is it's Northampton Yarns. Here in the UK we have a town called Northampton, and their rugby club, the colours are the exact tones of this green and this yellow. That is the All Saints, and that's also part of the problem, is when I look at this I immediately think of the All Saints, and I'm not a big rugby fan, let me know if you are in the comments, but every time I look at that I think All Saints. You'll also see with this colour palette that overall there isn't much in terms of gradients with it. None of the colours really have sort of a soft blend. You can buy a bunch of them, but they're not going to gently bleed into one another, except for some of the paler greys. That includes the warmer tones, and if you look at the warmer tones as well, they all have like a greyish sheen to them really, or it's a cooler, pinkier tone to them. So even with the warmer tones, they're not the warmest, they're very muted. I will say though that the red and the brown go really nicely together. It's a lovely contrast, kind of, I wouldn't say subtle, but it's not strong. It's really nice and toasty, like chocolate and raspberry. I really love that. This is my favourite part of the scarf. I do love these tones. And something else I will say is let's get the blue end. And there's the blue. Didn't use much of the blue. The blue actually has little threads of red throughout it. I'm not sure if it's showing up on camera, but that gives it such a great amount of depth because it makes the blue stand out more. It gives a deep richness, a solidness to the blue instead of it just being navy. And like I said, I really like that. If you're looking close, it has threads of it. Quite hard to get it on camera, and no, it's not just residue from the purple. I really appreciate it when brands do that with their colours. Anyway, I'm going to crochet a little bit with this, show you what it's like. Of course I made the hat before, and what I will say is that this yarn doesn't really split at all. I strongly enjoy that because a lot of yarns I use when they crochet, they split, and that's something that really puts me off those particular brands. I reviewed some yarn the other day that was splitting everywhere, the other week, sorry. Wasn't at all happy with that. But this one, like, you just do the hooks. I'm not even being gentle and it's not splitting, which means it's wound really well. just going to single crochet along. I'm not making anything in particular, just doing it to display the yarn. It's lovely and soft in the hands as well. Some yarns are quite tough and they can make your hands feel tense or tired. This would be suitable for people who perhaps don't have very strong hands or whose hands fatigue easily. There's no strain on my hands at all with this. I'll also show what it pulls back like as well. I know some people are bothered by the noise that yarn makes. This doesn't really make any noise at all. Just soft. It actually sounds a little bit like cotton. Do a row of these, then I'll do a double crochet with another colour. A problem I found with this yarn though is when I washed a project I made before, I used that dark brown and the lighter one to make a hat, and I called it my chocolate hat and I loved it. I made a pom-pom too, but I washed it once. I didn't wash it hot, I didn't put it on a radiator, I just put it nearby, and I found that it very quickly, within about 2 washes, felted up quite dramatically and the hat shrunk, and even with blocking I can't recover it. I'm not sure if that's because I crocheted it and the stitches are rigid, but it felted terribly and it shrank quite dramatically. So if you are planning to use this, be certain to wash it cold, keep it away from any heat, lay it flat to dry, or maybe even hang it up, because that might help sort of stretch it out a bit to prevent shrinking. You might also want to consider making projects a size larger, or just adding a few extra rows to ensure that the project is still good. If you're wondering if this project sheds, this yarn actually has very little, pretty much no shedding at all. Take the red. I really like the way the gold and the red fit together. They look really lovely. Look at that. If you were looking to make sort of a high quality festive scarf, or perhaps even Harry Potter fans would like to make a Gryffindor scarf with this yarn, you would definitely be quite well off with this. But I mean, the stitches have such good definition, they're lovely, the colours are crisp. And some people like that, I know. I prefer a slight gradient, but if you like solid lines and solid colour difference, this yarn is for you. I'll just add that green onto the end. Some of the colours come across as more solid and some of them come across as very muted. I'm actually going to do 2 chains for this. Do some trebles. If you can hear any rattling, I'm sorry, the wind's very high today, it's rattling all sorts of things about. Okay, so now let's pull it back and see how it frogs. So comfortable. There's no snagging, there's no splitting. Look at that, easy and smooth. I love that. I hate it when you pull back yarns and they snag and tear and you have to yank them and you end up breaking them. Like even that tough bit there that bound up, it took no effort really to pull it apart. So I'm going to knit with this. just a row or two, just to show you how it knits. These are the 4mm. I'm going to go with the green. Casts on nicely. Ooh. Notice here, as I put the needle through, it pulled apart. Splits more when knitting than with crochet. I noticed that when I did my temperature scarf too, that it was quite easy to poke the needles through it. So bear in mind, this might be better. In some regards it's better to crochet, nicer to crochet with, but it shrinks less and remains less felted when you knit, especially if you knit with a needle size up. I can imagine if you went to a 5 or a 6mm, it would help a lot, but going with a 5mm with the crochet, definitely not. You're going to need to go much bigger, and I would recommend not using single crochet. It's comfortable to knit with though. Yeah, overall this yarn's really nice. It's lovely and soft. The cool tone colour palette isn't really for me personally. I appreciate that it doesn't split a lot. I appreciate that they've put a lot of effort into ensuring the colour has depth and that it is quite versatile. I appreciate how soft this yarn is and how it isn't very itchy at all. Extremely sensitive people might be bothered by it, but if you're that sensitive and irritated by wool, you're probably better off not using it to begin with. However, overall this is pleasant. You can wear it on your head, you can wear it around your neck. It might make a nice jumper for some. I would strongly recommend putting these two colours together. Overall, most of the colours, like I said, don't necessarily blend the best. If you prefer colours that have a softer blend, then this option isn't for you. However, if you like the solid lines and stripes, then go for it. This is obviously going to be your type of yarn. Pulling it back was very comfortable. Knitting and crochet is both comfortable. I personally prefer crochet. There's a slight more splitting when you're using knitting, and yeah, I would recommend keeping it away from heat, washing it cold, not warm, not hot, keeping it away and perhaps reblocking it every time that you're going to use it, just to be safe, because I did find it was very easy to felt when crocheted. Overall, if I were to rate this yarn out of 10, I'm going to give it probably, to be fair, I'm going to give it a 6. I was going to give it a 5, but that's mostly just my personal colour preference. I'm not a fan of the colour palette. I don't recommend this for a temperature scarf or anything. If you're looking for solid colours, or like I said, like a novelty, Harry Potter, or like film inspired scarf, or something along those lines, then yes. If you're looking for in-depth colours, very cool tones, foresty tones, this might be for you. Also, if you like purple, there are quite a few options of purple available, and greys as well. This is definitely a slightly more muted palette. I know it looks very solid in the picture, but the tones themselves are not bright. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one.